Welcome to the Dogs We're Good Again. Kimmy, today I visited the Snoopy Museum.
Oh.
So I'm going to tell you all about that.
Fine.
Okay. I also stumbled across a Courthouse dog. So I'm going to tell you all about that very cool dog job.
Okay.
And then I believe you're going to tell us why some people look like their dogs.
Yeah. Science.
Oh, that looks like a good dog. That's a good dog. Yeah, that looks like a good dog. Very good.
Kimmy, I also have 3 Pupdates for you. The first is that Carrot did go home with his carrot costume.
Thank God.
So
God, Aiden, you can get back to your regular work. It's okay. We figured it out.
everyone that was worried that Carrot didn't go home with his carrot costume, he did. Okay,
Phew.
you can stop messaging us. He went home with the carrot costume.
Good. I was very concerned.
Then we got an update from Ollie, aka Turnpike, formerly Turnpike. We got this comment on our last video. This is Turnpike's mom, Ollie's mom.
Oh.
She said, just wanted to give an extended update about him. He's been amazing. His personality has fully come out. He is almost a completely different dog than the one we first met.
What?
Hopefully that's a good thing.
Yeah, hopefully.
While he does enjoy snoozing around still, he is a bit of a wild man. Okay, so maybe neutral. He loves destroying toys and slippers. He has Zooms nearly every day when Dad gets home from work or if the mood strikes. So that's good to know. And also, this is a great Pyrenees mix. So those Zoomies are a lot.
They're a lot.
He is still very snuggly and unaware of his size, resulting in a few errant paws to the face for us. He and his sister are also getting along, but we are still working on maintaining her personal space. We recently did an Embark DNA test on him, and it said he is Great Pyrenees Australian Shepherd mix.
Oh.
If you can believe that. We love him so much and are forever grateful for you guys featuring him.
Oh my God.
So
that is so sweet. And also how funny that they saw a video from us of us sliding Turnpike on the ground, now Ollie, thinking, oh, we're getting the chillest dog
He
ever.
barely moves.
Nope, sorry,
Now
you
he
got it. Who's
That was that's our special guest. You'll meet him shortly.
Ooh, he's announcing himself.
But yeah, that's probably not what they bargained
That's
for.
probably not what they expected.
That's so funny.
It is so funny though, the expectations versus realities with some dogs.
Yeah.
Like I remember, sorry, quick story, but my little golden retriever, when I got her as a little puppy, I never heard her bark. Like she was always so quiet and like very calm. And then I take her home, and the moment I take her home, she lets out this massive bark of a dog that's like 100 times her size, like to the point where there was an incident where my like best friend was coming to watch the dogs, and one of my dogs is a rescue, so she was a little bit apprehensive of just making sure that my rescue was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Lumpia, like she heard this crazy bark and she thought it was her big dog, and it was turned out to be a little puppy, and
Whoa.
it scared her so much. But you never know. Dogs have their own personalities, and sometimes it takes a little bit to.
Yeah, it's 3 days to decompress, 3 weeks to learn your routine, and then 3 months to start to feel at home. So we're right at that time for Ollie. So I'm not too surprised, though that is very funny.
That is so good. Oh, I'm glad he's settling in well.
I'm glad he's doing well.
He'll learn his personal space. That'll happen eventually.
So I lied. I actually have 2 more Pupdates for you.
Oh my gosh.
The first being that Ohtani has been adopted.
Yay.
Okay? And he went to a home where his sibling has opposite eyes.
Oh my God.
So Ohtani had the heterochromia,
Yeah.
and so does his new sibling.
That is
But the opposite eye.
insane.
Isn't that
And
wild?
the color dynamic too. Like that's so perfect.
Right?
Literally could not be a more perfect home. That's wonderful.
We're thrilled for Ohtani.
Yay,
Again, he
Ohtani.
was almost as big as Ollie. So those dogs are hard to place. So we're very happy for him. And then Kimmy, Sloane has also been adopted.
Oh my God.
So yeah, let's clap it up for Sloane. Sloane and Ohtani. Those are our Pupdated adoptions for you. There was a little meet and greet at Angel City Pitbulls, and Sloane went home. Sloane was episode 7. Ohtani was episode 8. So we have a streak of now 7 adoptions from episode 2 through episode 8.
That's wild.
Right?
That's insane.
Yep.
Everyone is awesome. I love the world. Everything's great right now.
And we're not going to stop here, Kimmy.
No.
Because our special guest today.
Yeah. You might have heard him earlier.
He did kind of announce himself already. His name is Opus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please welcome our very special guest, Opus.
Opus.
Come here, bud.
Hi, buddy.
Hi.
Oh.
Okay.
That was perfect. Look, you stuck the landing. That was the greatest. This is Opus.
Opus is available for adoption from Angel City Pit Bulls. Okay. He's just over a year old. And Kimmy, I got to meet him when he was just a little nugget.
Yeah.
Just a tiny little nugget.
God.
Basically the size of his head right now is when I met him.
What?
Yep.
That was you.
That was him.
That was you as a puppy. That's crazy.
So
Believe it. So he's a little bit bigger now.
he's
a little
just
bit.
a little bit, just a tad bit, just a tad bit bigger. He's 50 pounds. He's 100% Doggo Argentino, and I didn't expect that, and neither did his fosters. So they took two tests. They took two DNA tests to confirm.
Sure.
No pit bull, no bull terrier. Because I thought the face, I thought they were a little bull terrier.
That's a beautiful. I would have thought little pitty face.
Mm-mm.
Oh. He sees chasm.
We're taking photos, and he knows it.
He knows it. He knows his light. He found it. Yeah, no, that's so funny.
Mhm.
Doggo Argentine. I've never heard.
He's
But
rare. He's a rare
beautiful
one.
breed. Wow.
He's friendly with large dogs and has good experiences with kids.
Yeah.
He has the attributes of snugglebug and social butterfly.
Absolutely. You
I think
witnessed it.
I think all three of our special guests from Angel City Pit Bulls have had those two attributes as well. Opus's story is a little bit of a rough one. He was dropped in an LA shelter yard, so just left there. He had fractures and a spinal injury. Despite all of this, as you'll see, he is just the happiest boy. He's in physical therapy, and he's progressed in that physical therapy. We're unsure whether that progress will continue, but we're very hopeful. If it doesn't seem like it slows him down much, if anything, you mentioned this, it might speed him up.
Honestly, yeah, we saw him perfectly circumnavigate all of our, tripods and things, and we've had other able-bodied dogs not do the same. So
they can't do that. Yeah, he's
even
been
they
drifting.
can't do that. He's just been. He's
been
so good.
drifting.
He's moving and grooving.
Yes. Since he does have special needs related to mobility, he will need a more experienced adopter. And because of this, Angel City Pit Bulls is opening him up to out-of-state adopters. So that's most of you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you fall in love with Opus, Angel City Pit Bulls.
It's very hard not to.
Yeah, we have. It's been like 5 minutes.
It's been 5 minutes, and that's all it took.
So Kimmy, for 12 episodes now, our special guest adoption fee has been sponsored. So Opus is sponsored by Terry.
Oh.
Terry tells us he's got 5 dogs in his house. 4 of them are pit mixes. Obviously, he loves them. He said, please tell Opus that Lola, Grace, Augie, and Savannah hope that he finds a home like they did because they all deserve it. And then his 5th dog, he says, and Daisy, the doodle mix, would wish him the best if she could stand attention coming off of her for even half a minute. So, thank you so much, Terry. And one of those barriers to adoption has been removed for Opus.
There we go. That's so nice.
So yeah.
Opus, dedicated to you.
Yeah, we love him. We hope he hangs out with us. Yeah.
You would never know all the, things that he's gone through in his very short life because he is the happiest boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just brightened all our days.
I love his pink little ears. His translucent ears.
It is so funny. Who would have thought? Not a pit bull.
So, Kimmy, over the weekend,
Yeah.
I went to the Snoopy Museum.
Okay.
It was incredible. I'm a big Snoopy fan. I have a unique relationship with Peanuts. I didn't really read them as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
but in my adult life,
Yeah.
and probably because of what I do.
Sure.
Obsessed with Snoopy. Obsessed with all things Peanuts. I have a little Snoopy tattoo.
Oh my
He's
God.
looking at the
I
stars.
noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's on there. It was very, very cool.
Back up.
You got it.
There you go.
You got it. Oh, you coming over to say hi to me?
Yeah.
Hi, bud. Was I talking about Snoopy too much?
He's like, what about me?
What about me?
For those that are listening, come watch the YouTube video so you can see this sweet little face.
So yeah, it's a shrine to all things Snoopy. And I was just shocked at just the amount of content that Charles Schulz needed to create. This is a wall of comics, and they made art out of the wall of comics.
Wow.
It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable.
Wow.
I think one of the reasons, it's the whole concept is so wholesome. Oh, you got it. You got it. I think when you think Snoopy, when you think Peanuts is so wholesome, and that was
Mhm.
such an inspiration to me when I was, creating content.
Sure, yeah.
For years, I wrote for an account called Thoughts of Dog, where I would literally write from the perspective of a dog. I started on Twitter just like WeRateDogs.
Yeah.
And the dog had like referenced a human, and he had a stuffed elephant best friend, and it was just really fun to write for that. And it grew faster than WeRateDogs did. It hit 1 million followers in I have in 381 days with only 600 tweets.
Oh my God.
Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
That was 40 days faster than WeRateDogs and with 2,500 fewer tweets. So I'm really proud of that account. And so
That's
I figured
awesome.
these were some of my greatest
Oh,
hits.
please.
I'm just going to flex
because Let's go.
this was an account I was really proud of. Sometimes the human presses their noggin against mine to figure out what I'm thinking. So I just think really hard about how much I love them and hope they figure it out.
Oh,
I know.
that's a nice one, Matt.
Thank you. Every time I get brushed, I have to take my collar off. The human always laughs and says that I'm naked, but joke's on them. I'm very confident in my body.
Dang.
These would go crazy.
These
we averaged 200,000 likes every tweet. It was nuts.
wild.
We had a cult. I had a cult. And
big ass cold.
and genuinely, it was I was trying, I think with Snoopy, it's a very subtle, wholesome humor, right? And I think he does it with such simplicity, and where you have some of them are only 3 panels, and it's such a simple art, and there's not a lot of words on there.
Yeah.
And I was really, really addicted to the challenge of how do I evoke such a strong emotion with so few words.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun with this account.
Is it still up there?
I kind of abandoned. So it was so Twitter specific that when Twitter became just too much of a cesspool, it kind of died with it. But we've been working with an illustrator to bring them back because they've only ever been just copy, just words.
Yeah.
And so to attach some, some illustrations to them.
A cute
That's
little
so
dog. Sweet.
Yeah. Perhaps Opus.
Yeah. Do you need a model?
I need inspiration is what I need.
Inspiration?
I've been since I've been dogless since Doug passed. I got to go to dog park with a notepad to just write for this account.
I used to do that. I used to live near a dog park, and I would go sans dog just to hang out with dogs. And I always debated if that was a creepy thing to do. But
No,
I think
you've got my permission.
Thank you.
I
I
feel
appreciate
qualified.
that. You honestly are. You probably are the person that the qualified person I would need that permission from for everyone else to understand and respect.
They had a little setup for psychiatric help that bit. It was really incredible. So I encourage you, if you're ever in Santa Rosa, you should go. Also, the Santa Rosa airport is Snoopy themed.
Oh, what? Okay.
As soon as you land, it's you're in Snoopy Town. I will warn you though that if you are super into Peanuts, you will probably get emotional at the museum because they have siphoned his greatest hits and most emotional stuff and have
my gosh. Just
really built his
1-2 punch of just feels.
Kimmy, would you like to talk about
Oh, yes.
why we look like our dogs? I thought that was
It's science, people.
apparently it's science. Kimmy's going to tell us all about it. I've got some references. I'm going to pull up some references while
there is an Instagram account. It's called Jez G Thin Thines. It's a photographer named Gerard Gethings, and he had done a whole book actually on this, basically, photographing dogs and their owners that look so much alike, and obviously styling things to just really emphasize it.
These are their actual owners?
Oh yeah, these are the dogs and their owners.
I thought this was casted. It looks casted. That's so funny.
It's pretty impressive. It's pretty crazy. So, I mean, it's something that we've always been fascinated by. I'm like, how does that happen? Does the dog slowly morph into the human?
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Who changes to meet who in the middle? And apparently it is science. So there's a very funny study done, and there's actually good reason for it. It makes a lot of sense. It's honestly a pretty simple phenomena. It's a pretty simple reasoning. So basically, there's Jana Bender, who's a PhD researcher at the Dog Studies Research Group.
Wait.
Yeah, we found another job. That might be freaking epic and on the top of the list. Dog Studies Research Group at the Max Planck Institute of Geanthropology and Jena, Germany. And anyways, she led a review of 15 different studies in this phenomena. So her findings said that people looking for a pet will often pick dogs that look like them.
Oh, they gravitate towards themselves.
Exactly.
Or do you think it extends to personality as well?
I think it does, but also like there was also part of the study that said that personality usually comes a little bit later,
Gotcha.
and then the dog starts to mirror the human personality. So, for example, like if if you are a relaxed owner, you'll have a relaxed dog. But there was that misconception, and like they've kind of found that it's generally untrue. That like a dog's breed characteristics have a really great impact on the dog itself, but really it's more the condition that they were the nature versus nurture of it all. It seems like it's way more nurture for dogs. Okay. But yeah, in terms of like people picking dogs that look like them. So like, for example, this is a quote from the PhD researcher: women who have long hair actually prefer dogs with long ears. And then women who have short hair, usually wear their hair tied back, will prefer dogs with short ears.
What?
So they're really just
That's pretty cool.
I guess it's just kind of like we're all obsessed with ourselves and we pick dogs that look like us. And I feel like the same phenomena kind of applies to some couples at times that look very much alike. Dating your siblings. Shout out that account.
Oh, wow. It's a study in narcissism, actually.
It's a little bit of a study of that. You know, we just want to see ourselves reflected in everything, I guess.
Interesting.
But no, so it's a thing. It's a very simple reasoning. It makes a lot of sense to me. But yeah, there is a reason why dogs be looking like they're humans. And I provided, I mean, these are freaking epic. This is so crazy.
That's wild.
I want this man to drop more images, or I need to buy his book, I think.
Yeah, this is a good coffee table book. I'm sure he made one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, there was like that collage of images. That was all from his book.
Got
and there's definitely more where that came from. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think when I look at my dogs, and I gave Matt a couple of images of their faces, I don't know which one I look more like. Yeah, we can zoom in. But basically, I don't. Okay, so this phenomena.
We got Lumpia.
We got, this one's Mo.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mo and
no
Lumpia.
Worries. This is Lumpia. I mean, if we're talking if the hair ear thing applies, then probably Lumpia, just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love them both so much. I want to look like both of them. No.
Our audience can pick.
Yeah,
and also, if you adopted a dog or you have a dog and you think that this holds true, we want to hear about it.
I want to see all the examples because I was just looking at, like, I obviously had the photographer images to pull up today or have Matt pull up today, but I want to see more out in the wild. I would love to see this because it really is a thing. I think in terms of personality, though, I am definitely more golden retriever. I think
I don't think anyone would disagree.
Nah, Mo's more quiet and soulful, and Lumpia has ADHD. And tis me, tis I. But yeah. So you don't think you looked like Doug at all?
No, I definitely didn't look like Doug, but I definitely contributed to his anxiety. We did that to each other. We were both
yeah, it's generational.
Mutual panic attacks. That's what we did to each other. Why is he so reactive? I don't know.
So you guys like amped each other up instead of like calm each other down?
Well, so not intentionally, but he, like, when we go for walks, because of his reactivity, I'd be super. It was like a Black Ops mission to go on a walk with this dog. So I'm elevated. Yeah. He knows I'm elevated. He's like, let's fucking go. Like, it wasn't. We were a mess on the streets of North Hollywood, that's for sure. But
whenever it's just me with the two dogs, because together they make 120 pounds-ish. Oh, hi, no. Hi, buddy.
He's like, you're talking about your own dogs?
Talking about your own dogs?
Here.
How dare you? I know. It's so... I come to work and these dogs smell other dogs and they're like, who the heck are you fraternizing with? And then I go home and then my dogs are like, what have you been doing all day? And why have you been cheating on me? I just can't win. I simply can't. Oh my gosh. But yeah, whenever I have the both dogs, they equal a very big dog together. They're already pretty big dogs. And so I'm just constantly being dragged in like two different directions. I should probably work on that with them. But
Doug and I hid behind cars. We actually, people in our neighborhood got really, they would accommodate us. If they saw us, they would veer. They would go across the street. They would let us have our sidewalk.
Have your little space.
Yeah.
So you would prefer that then for people to kind of just...
Well, I mean, if they would, it was very polite when people did that instead of me having to reroute Doug. So the people that knew him were like, "Oh, that's Doug. We're gonna scoot over here."
Yeah, say hi.
But, yeah, Kimmy, have you seen a dog with vitiligo? What a transition!
The best segue there ever was. No, I do not think so.
This is a Basset Hound that has vitiligo, and so over the years, slowly turned from black to white. Which is really wild and starting. So I think it happened later in life.
Yeah.
And now he's completely white. Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
So it's harmless. It's just a skin pigmentation thing. Isn't that?
It's so cute.
Isn't that wild?
That's so. I mean, because it is typical for dogs to start to get like the white faces and whatnot as they get older. That just happens with age. But this is next level.
Yep.
It looks like the printer was running out of ink.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. We featured a dog. Yeah, it happened over the course of 3 years.
Wow.
But that right beside each other is nuts.
That's so wild.
We featured another dog that same thing, and it's just such a stark difference. And of course, the comments were great. They were like, "You can get into a better school now."
Oh my god!
His credit karma, his credit score went up.
Oh man, life became a lot easier for him.
Yeah. But yeah, this happened over the course of 3 years, and it's just such a unique. I think it's gorgeous.
This is another dog that happened to?
Yeah, this is a different dog. This is Buster. And yeah, it's just a rare genetic condition, and they just lose pigment.
That's so wild. That's fascinating. So with our older dog Mo, she's not that old. She's like maybe 7 now. But she really progressed like really rapidly once we moved to LA in like the last like 4 years, or when she moved to LA, started getting like white on her face, and like the wildest change. Like it was like her whole face was tan, and then now it's like mostly white.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband is convinced that it's the stress from having a little sister that did it to her.
That's funny.
Because Lumpia is exactly 4, and that's when it started. So.
That's very funny. Yeah, I feel like the changes aren't that uncommon. Like German Shepherds will sometimes have like red in their foreheads, and that'll change to black. Like
it's kind of fun to see how they with age how they change.
Yeah.
Are you just going to turn black one day, maybe?
Full on, reverse it.
Fully reverse it.
Where are you going? You're welcome. You can go wherever you want.
Yeah. The world is your oyster.
This is uncharted territory for our guests.
Yeah. No guest ever wants to chill on the cushion, which is exactly where I want to chill if I were a dog.
It's there.
Yeah.
Kimmy, I was summoned to jury duty this morning.
Oh,
okay?
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I got dismissed pretty quickly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they saw some of my tweets.
Did you just say what you do for a living? Yeah, your tweets.
Yeah, they saw what I posted on my Instagram story.
And they're like, he's the original.
We got to get him out of here.
Yeah. There's no way someone can do that as their job.
And I passed a courthouse dog, or what I assumed to be a courthouse dog. And it reminded me that I wanted to talk about courthouse dogs.
Okay.
Because they arguably, I'll say it's arguable.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have the most important dog job.
I've never heard of a courthouse dog, so let me
tell you all
preface this.
about it.
I believe you.
I
trust
you all
you. You're a trusted source. So
I will give a content warning for this section. I'm going to briefly reference some very difficult, hard to hear topics. Feel free to jump to the next chapter, which will likely be our closing.
Mm-hmm.
So just a warning for that. In 2021, recognizing the benefits of a facility dog or a courthouse dog, the American Bar Association passed a resolution advocating for all court systems to allow them.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, these dogs will accompany children or disabled individuals to help them testify, to help them tell their story in the court setting, which can be an incredibly intimidating setting.
Okay.
The intro to the resolution, I'm going to read it because it gives you a full scope of what these dogs do really and their purpose. Many victims of violence lose the power of their voice. Depending on the degree of trauma and the nature of the crime, a victim may feel ostracized and powerless. Articulating the details of the criminal acts perpetrated against a victim to strangers, including police, jurors, judges, spectators, and the perpetrator and their counsel, can trigger disturbing emotions and rekindle the trauma the victims experienced during the actual events, as you can imagine. Recognizing the therapeutic effect of canines, several agencies throughout the U.S. engage professionally trained facility dogs to accompany vulnerable victims or witnesses during various stages of the criminal justice process, including their testimony in the courtroom. However, the implementation of this approach needs to be balanced with guarantees for welfare for the dogs and the fairness to all parties in the proceedings. This resolution directly advances ABA Goal 4, advancing the rule of law by assuring meaningful access to justice for all persons, including victims and other vulnerable individuals. So this resolution was advocating for these dogs to be present to basically uphold the same treatment any able-bodied or adult would have in the courtroom. Wow. At least 15 states have passed laws permitting courthouse dogs. Elsewhere, it's often up to the judge's discretion, but handlers say that pushback against the dogs is rare. One of the arguments for not having them is that it can sway a jury or be it makes whoever is testifying, whoever is on the stand, appear more sympathetic because they have a dog with them. But these dogs are so well trained that this resolution basically said these dogs are invisible to anybody, that it would not be, it's not swaying them. Mm-hmm. These dogs are only making a positive impact in this courtroom, which is incredible because of course they do.
Yeah.
So again, they come from comfort dog, therapy dog backgrounds, which make them perfect for this type of work. But this is also a very specific type of job.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you about some of these individual dogs because there's so many out there, but these dogs have stories that are worth sharing with you today. Yeah. So this is Jojo. We got a couple photos of Jojo. We don't have a ton in the courtroom setting because that's a private setting, but sure. Sometimes they do mock trials to prepare the dogs and whoever the dogs are going to be with.
I wonder if they get drawn into the courtroom sketches.
That's a great question.
I would love that.
That's a great question.
I'd want them. I want those photos.
So this is Jojo. The most notable story with Jojo is about a 4-year-old girl who was sexually assaulted and brought to the Children's Interview Center in Martinez, California to give a statement to law enforcement. Karen Zealous said that she wouldn't even say her name. Karen Zealous is the facilitator for the Courthouse Facility Dog Program. She said she wouldn't talk at all. We brought Jojo to the interview room and positioned her on the couch. We brought the little girl in, and it was just like a light switch went on. She talked, she was engaged, she gave us all the information about what had happened. Jojo also helped embolden a 4-year-old boy who was a witness to his mother's murder. Basically, Jojo just laid there, Zealous said. It's not like she did magic tricks, just her presence gave him security. And then Pickett's favorite Jojo story involves a young girl who had been victimized by her mother and stepfather and had to testify against both of them in court. After she'd been on the stand for a total of 6 hours, she was... Sorry.
This is a lot.
Yeah, it is. She was left by herself in a room for a few minutes. When Pickett came back, she saw that the girl had drawn Jojo's face on the whiteboard and had written underneath, "I love Jojo." I don't know why I tried to do this. God.
No, it's really...
Sorry. It's important. But it's a lot.
You got it out.
It's a lot. Unfortunately, there's 4 more dogs. We're gonna skip a few of them.
Oh my gosh! But these are really beautiful stories. This is really wonderful. This is yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'll try to get through a couple.
No, you sir, don't be sorry. These are really amazing dogs. I didn't know about a courthouse dog, and I had no idea. But I feel like if there's any place where this measure hasn't been passed yet, that's insane. Because I can't even imagine like being a child or someone that's not able-bodied and like trying to go through this insanely horrific,
so intimidating,
intimidating situation. Where
you've never been in a courthouse before.
Never been in a courthouse, and then having to literally face anyone that might have done you harm, and then also talk about the harm. You need something. There needs to be something like to help out these victims, and so this is really special.
Absolutely.
And I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I love Jojo. I love you, Jojo.
This is Remy. Okay. Story about Remy. I think I've got a couple. Yeah. That's a good one. Story about Remy. A young girl testified against her accused abuser while they were sitting mere feet away in a South Mississippi courtroom. She answered question after question in horrific detail about the trauma. When she exited the courtroom, her guardian said that she'd been worried about her testifying in there all alone. The little girl replied, "I wasn't alone. I had Remy." So I don't need to give you more examples. These dogs are incredible. And when I was there this morning, I was like, I can't believe I hadn't brought this up yet. One of the coolest jobs that these dogs have, and so meaningful. So that's why I opened with I think this is the dog job. And then I can hear everyone being like, "Matt, they're all good dogs," but
these are really special.
These are really, really special dogs.
Dogs are the best
They're
gift
the best.
to the earth. they're just so wonderful. Oh man, I get why, WeRateDogs got so big, and I get why. I think I understand it now.
I'll do one more because it's got a video associated with it that I would like to share because it's the full perspective for you. If you're interested, let us know, and We Rate Dogs might pursue a more involved story featuring all of these dogs. But the last one I want to tell you about is Dozer. Dozer was detailed to a case in juvenile court where he helped 2 young girls testify against their abuser. And we have a video. They interviewed them afterwards, and they got to be reunited with Dozer afterwards because they loved him so much.
Dozer was detailed to a case in juvenile court late last year.
My daughters were a victim of abuse.
Pearl Curiel's daughters had to testify.
I felt nervous because the judge is like right there, and you just look up at the judge and you think I'm gonna freak out.
I feel kind of scared, but once I saw Dozer with me, I wasn't scared anymore.
I couldn't be right there where the mom is supposed to be. I couldn't hold my daughter and rub her back while she talked, you know? But he was. He was able to say, you know what, I'm not gonna leave you, and I'm gonna sit right next to you, and you could pet me, and you could talk to me, you know, I don't know if they would have made it through without him.
So, that's Dozer. And those are Courthouse Dogs. And sorry.
Yay. No. No, it's very, very cool to hear about, because this is, it's a really special, like I said, I had not heard of this dog job. I had not heard of it before. And it's really, really amazing what they do. And just another reason my dogs are freaking best.
Yes. And if you're truly inspired by these dogs, there's a ton of great organizations that are providing them. And I'm sure that they could use any support that you have to give them.
Yeah.
So, Kimmy, with that being said, let's get Opus, if we can, let's get Opus back in here so we can answer our question.
Opus, I need a little bit of fluffy therapy.
You know what? Actually, before we do that, I've got a dog that just farts before breakfast every day, Kimmy. And that might be the palate cleanser.
Dog.
That's the palate cleanser we need. So everyone just hold on. Here we go. This is Vino. And he's surprised by it every time. I thought someone was I thought this wasn't him, but we validated it.
That's...
You too did.
You talked like that on her.
We did. He's like, what's going on back there? Every morning.
Oh my God.
Who was that?
Who's that?
He hasn't figured it out yet. So yeah, that's your palate cleanser.
That's...
Thank you, Vino.
The spectrum of topics we covered.
Oh, it's wild. Yeah. It's a roller coaster. But hey, I feel like you guys are used to... Oh my goodness.
No, just
Opus, you came in here so quickly.
Just in time, buddy. Good boy.
So our last segue, I guess, Opus.
Okay.
Very adoptable from Angel City Pit Bulls. Adoption fee covered.
Thank you, Terry.
Yes, thank you, Terry. And open to out-of-state inquiries as well. Hey, bud, come here.
Hi, buddy.
Come here.
We just want to find the right home for him. So
yes,
if you think you're that home, please adopt the sweetest boy.
Yeah.
Get this tail nonstop, I tell you. It just doesn't stop.
All right, Kimmy.
Yeah.
Were the dogs good again this week?
Duh. Yeah.
You're going to have to do that one again, I think.
Really?
Just for safety.
In case anyone didn't understand what I was saying, is that what
it was?
Oh, okay, for sure. Duh. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just losing it.
As always, if you enjoyed this episode, like the video. If you haven't yet, subscribe. And if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, add us to your playlist.
Add us to your playlist.
And we'll see you next week with probably another special guest. Probably an adoptable one.
Probably. And another adoption, more Pupdates. Let's go.
See you next week.
Bye.
Oh, that looks like a good dog. That's a good dog. Yeah, that looks like a good dog.